Whenever you get a new car, you want to see where your starting line performance is. I mean, you know, you got to know what things you've done to the car, whether or not they've made a difference. Well, we're here at Great Lakes Dragway in Union Grove, Wisconsin, with our 72 Camaro, the project car that we've got huge plans for. So we're going to take it down the track and see what she does. This body style, it's just flat out bitchin'. Well, it's a 72 Camaro with a big block in it, 454 cubic inches and about 9-to-1 compression. Fast Times built the motor so that it could be driven on the street. We actually drove it all the way from Chicago up to Wisconsin here. The underneath of this car is as clean as the outside. It's spotless. It's got a 10-bolt rear end with Cal tracks on it, 370 gear. You know, an aftermarket Hurst shifter so we can slap it around a little bit. We're going to take it down the track right now and just see what you got for a starting point.
After adjusting the timing, our second run got us down to 12:17 at 108.87 miles per hour.
Well, that's a heck of a baseline. I mean, for an engine that's a pump gas, simple motor, low 12s is fast. When I was in the staging lanes a little while ago, I didn't feel there was enough timing in it. Don't ask why, I just felt. And I got out of the car in the staging lanes and cranked the timing up a little bit by turning the distributor. The way you know that the timing went up is while the engine's idling. If you turn the timing up, the RPM will increase. If you turn the timing down, the engine's RPM will decrease. So I turned up the engine RPM a couple hundred, shut the hood, and let a little more air pressure out of the tires, and obviously it showed us what we wanted to see. Well, I gotta admit, I can't say enough good things about these drag radials nowadays. I mean, I think that they're actually safer to drive than the slicks because of the stiffer sidewalls, and then they get the benefit of killer traction. This car, the Camaro, we have a 10-bolt rear end with a 373 gear, and it's only a matter of time before we disintegrate it. So that's why one of the things that we have planned for it is a Strange Engineering 4 9-inch rear end. The bite is achieved by having a set of Caltrack bars on it, which I'm sure we'll be playing with when we get a little more horsepower in this baby. We're going to have to figure out a way to make it hook again. And remember, whenever you make something hook, it tries to break things. So that's why the next step is to buy a good part like a rear end. When you call up a professional engine builder, this is what you get that would be considered a low-budget street motor. I mean, this really is essentially a 454 that's out of somebody's 1978 Suburban, let's say, with a little head porting, a little cam, new pistons, and a nice intake manifold and carb. I mean, really, that's impressive if you think about it. You could stick a motor like this in your car and go low 12s. Matter of fact, I'll bet you when the sun goes down here at the Grove and the air gets a little cool, I bet you this thing will go in the 11s. That's impressive.
Let the car cool off and shot for the 11s, but a little problem with the carburetor made us go slower than ever.
Well, we just made a run, and it really ran bad at one point. I didn't know what the heck it was. I'm coming down the return road, barely making it run, and when I got back here and pulled the air cleaner off, I noticed the choke was closed. And it was probably running like, closed, so that's not good. Somebody put a brand new carburetor on there, and if you're not going to have your choke work with an electric choke or even a little lever in the car, I believe that you should at least have a piece of wire that runs through here and through this eyelet with a little set screw holding it down, and what it would do is it would hold the choke like this, keeping it open. No, you know what, big guy? See if you can find a piece of wire in the garbage can, like a coat hanger, just a piece of straight wire that I can cut up and make something with it. Well, because we couldn't find a piece of wire in time, and I'm very impatient, I just pulled the choke blade out just to ensure that we get air going in the carburetor for the next run. It's ingenuity, racer ingenuity. I hope it works.
With the choke removed, the car really responded to the cool night air.
Well, we came to the track today to get a baseline. By the end of the day, the car went 12.0 and 109.94. Let's call it 110. We got basically a 12.0 car that, I mean, heck, we just drove it 60 miles to come here, and we're going to drive it 60 miles home. That's pretty cool. But can't wait to see what's in store for it for the future.